Renegade Immortal EP85. This disciple is a rogue cultivator. He has long yearned to join the Soul Enchantment sect and become an outer disciple. You're late. The 10 days for accepting outer disciples have long passed. Go back and come again in a few years. Our brother Pockmark is truly adaptable. A dignified painting god cultivator actually addresses a mere core formation trash as senior. Continuing from last time, as everyone knows, with the Celestial Maiden's assistance, Wang Lin broke the seal within his body and chose to once again risk devouring a piece of the immortal realm. Although this act was extremely dangerous, fortunately, Wang Lin had experience and could skillfully guide the immortal energy to impact the seal within his body. His primordial spirit gradually coalesced, and his cultivation recovered to the early stage of core formation. Thus, the numerous magical treasures within his storage bag could be used by Wang Lin. With the help of the mosquito beast, unless he encountered a nascent soul cultivator with domain, no one posed a threat to him. However, because of the previously devoured piece of the immortal realm, Wang Lin's body had reached its limit. Therefore, he needed to find a place with abundant spiritual energy to recover his cultivation. After pondering for a moment, Wang Lin leaped up and landed steadily on the mosquito beast's back. Sitting on the mosquito beast's back, Wang Lin took out a map jade slip. After carefully examining it, his gaze turned south. South was the Soul Refining Sect, one of the 3 great sects of the Pillar Kingdom. The reason Wang Lin chose the Soul Refining Sect was that although it only had a few hundred core disciples, it had tens of thousands of outer disciples. Therefore, the threshold for becoming an outer disciple wasn't high. One only needed to pay a certain amount of spirit stones. Outside the Soul Refining Sect's gates stood several mountain peaks with dense forests. This was the cultivation grounds for the outer disciples. Although they were called outer disciples, in reality, they simply paid spirit stones to temporarily rent a cave for cultivation. The gates of the Soul Enchantment sect came into view. Wang Lin recalled the mosquito beast and switched to his flying sword. However, a purplish-red light suddenly appeared behind Wang Lin. As this streak of light approached, it transformed into a red-haired old man. Seeing this, Wang Lin's eyes flickered. He immediately stepped aside respectfully. The old man strode forward. Just as he was about to enter the Soul Enchantment sect's gate, he suddenly turned his head and glanced at Wang Lin. He asked, "Which sect's disciple are you?" The disciple replied, "This disciple is a rogue cultivator. I have long yearned to join the Soul Enchantment sect and become an outer disciple." The old man said, "It's not easy for a rogue cultivator to reach the core formation stage. You want to become an outer disciple of our Soul Enchantment sect and find a place for closed-door cultivation." "This disciple does have such intentions," the disciple confirmed. "You're late. The 10 days for accepting outer disciples have long passed." Wang Lin then took out an exquisite brocade box from his storage bag and respectfully offered it to the old man. "Senior, this is a flying sword that this disciple obtained by chance many years ago. This disciple only asks to become an outer disciple of the Soul Enchantment sect. I implore Senior to accept it." It turned out that this red-haired old man was only at the early stage of core formation. For someone at his level of cultivation, any small trinket Wang Lin took out was considered a treasure. "All right, seeing how hard you've cultivated to reach this level, I'll make an exception. Follow me." Led by the red-haired old man, Wang Lin arrived at the outer disciple registration office of the Soul Refining sect. "What's your name?" "This disciple's name is Qing Mu. This cave is yours to use. 1 mid-grade spirit stone for 1 year's use." However, Wang Lin took out 2 mid-grade spirit stones from his pocket and offered them with both hands. "Senior Mu, you have core formation stage cultivation, but don't be arrogant. While core formation stage cultivators aren't common among outer disciples, they're definitely not rare either. Next year in June will be the grand competition of our Soul Enchantment sect. Cultivate diligently." Meanwhile, Lume was standing on a cliff top away from the Soul Enchantment sect. She tightly clutched a jade slip in her hand. It turned out this jade slip couldn't precisely locate Wang Lin's exact position, but if he was within a certain distance, the jade slip would react. And at this moment, the jade slip was emitting a faint green light. Senior, this disciple hopes to exchange for a cave with more abundant spiritual energy. For cultivators, haste makes waste. Cultivating like this, your Dao foundation is unstable. You won't be able to form your core in this lifetime. Wang Lin advanced a level every month, yet someone says his Dao foundation is unstable. Continuing from last time, as everyone knows, with the Celestial Maiden's assistance, Wang Lin, in order to find a place with abundant spiritual energy, joined the Soul Enchantment sect. However, when Wang Lin arrived at his cultivation cave number 1090, he found that not only was the space inside cramped, but the spiritual energy also didn't meet his requirements. But fortunately, Wang Lin had set up a giant spirit formation with top-grade spirit stones. Time flew by, and a month passed. During this month, due to Wang Lin's almost frantic absorption of spiritual energy, 2 of the 3 top-grade spirit stones were almost completely depleted. However, despite this, his cultivation only increased from early-stage core formation to mid-stage core formation. The progress is still too slow. This place is not suitable for a long stay. I must find another place to cultivate. After pondering for a moment, Wang Lin pushed open the cave door. It was dusk. The setting sun in the distance emitted a faint red afterglow. Just then, a graceful female figure approached from afar in the afterglow of the setting sun. Wang Lin's gaze instantly focused because this person seemed somewhat familiar. However, no matter how hard Wang Lin tried to recall, he couldn't remember who she was. After pondering for a moment, Wang Lin moved, descending from the peak to the middle of the mountain. At this time, a middle-aged man was sitting on the ground, cultivating. When Wang Lin landed, he suddenly opened his eyes. You're at mid-stage core formation? This disciple was already close to the brink of a breakthrough. Nourished by the spiritual energy here, I luckily managed to break through to mid-stage core formation. What brings you here? Senior, this disciple hopes to exchange for a cave with more abundant spiritual energy. For cultivators, haste is the biggest taboo. Cultivating like this, your Dao foundation is unstable. You won't be able to form your core in this lifetime. This disciple knows my limits. I hope Senior will grant my request. Since you insist, I won't interfere further. So, after paying the spirit stones, Wang Lin arrived at the new cave. However, the size of this cave was exactly the same as the previous one. Only there was a small giant spirit formation on the ground. Time flew by. Another 2 months passed. During these 2 months, Wang Lin didn't move an inch. He spent almost every moment recovering his cultivation. However, as his cultivation increased, the required spiritual energy also increased. Naturally, the speed of improvement became slower and slower. Therefore, during these 2 months, Wang Lin only recovered to the late stage of core formation. One day, outside the cave, sunlight bathed the earth. Everywhere was filled with the vitality of early spring. During this time, Wang Lin had been in secluded cultivation. Except for the middle-aged man, he hadn't interacted with anyone. At this moment, from a cave more than 10 zhang away from him, a woman in light blue gauze walked out. Wang Lin immediately recognized that this woman was the one he had seen before his closed-door cultivation. But Wang Lin still couldn't remember who she was. The more he thought, the more Wang Lin decided to ignore the woman. Although her appearance could be described as breathtakingly beautiful, far surpassingly Muin, she couldn't attract Wang Lin's attention. Just then, the middle-aged man's gaze locked onto Wang Lin. In fact, from the moment Wang Lin appeared, he had been secretly observing him from inside the cave. Qingmu, come here. Wang Lin's eyes flashed with a hint of killing intent. He moved, landing steadily in front of the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man thought to himself, early, mid, late, and great circle. In his opinion, there must be something extraordinary about Wang Lin. After all, in just a few short months, Wang Lin's cultivation had not only broken through from early-stage core formation to mid-stage core formation, but now it had reached the great circle of late-stage core formation. If given more time, this person might reach early-stage core formation like him. This Qing Mu either possesses some heaven-defying treasure or his cultivation method is extremely profound. A flicker of displeasure crossed the middle-aged man's eyes, but it quickly vanished without a trace. Haha, Qing Mu. If you can form your core here, then in the grand competition a few months later, your chances of becoming an inner disciple will greatly increase. If you become an inner disciple, you must come back and visit often. I certainly will. However, the spiritual energy in my cave is a bit lacking. I wonder if I could exchange for another one. Caves numbered within 700 require elder approval. But if you really want to exchange, I'll make the decision and apply for you. There's no need for Senior to go through so much trouble. I only want cave number 743. Haha, this is easy to handle. But Qing Mu, that cave 743, while its spiritual energy is decent, it's not the best. It doesn't matter. I've troubled Senior many times. This extra spirit stone is a small token of my appreciation. The middle-aged man took the spirit stone and sneered inwardly. Because no matter how many spirit stones Wang Lin had, when the dead of night arrived, they would all belong to him. I had no intention of killing, but you insisted on courting death. Who are you? You're not worthy of knowing. Someone questioned which blind fool is forcing Brother Pockmark to reveal his true nature again? After all, our Brother Pockmark is never one to shy away from killing. Continuing from last time, as everyone knows, with the Celestial Maiden's assistance, Wang Lin joined the Soul Refining Sect and encountered a middle-aged man at the early stage of core formation. However, this middle-aged man not only coveted the spirit stones on Wang Lin, but even wanted to kill Wang Lin and seize his cultivation method. Late at night, the middle-aged man walked out of his cave. Don't blame me. If you have to blame someone, blame yourself for cultivating too fast. If you had reached the core formation stage, it would be troublesome for me to even try to make a move. But now, killing you is as easy as turning my hand. With that, the middle-aged man leaped, rushing towards Wang Lin's cave. However, the man froze as soon as he reached the cave because he saw Wang Lin calmly looking at him. Without a word, the middle-aged man made a hand seal with his right hand. A streak of clear light flashed towards Wang Lin, but a trace of mockery appeared in Wang Lin's eyes. He patted his storage bag, and the restriction flag appeared in his hand. With a flick, the restrictive energy whistled out, colliding with the clear light almost instantly. The clear light couldn't resist at all and instantly crumbled. You're courting death. With that, the middle-aged man spat out a 3-inch flying sword, sending it towards the restrictive energy. He originally thought a mere late-stage core formation cultivator wouldn't be able to block his core-refined flying sword. But in the blink of an eye, his smile froze because as soon as the flying sword touched the restrictive energy, it instantly shattered. When I started cultivating, you weren't even born yet. The man's face paled. He spat out a mouthful of blood and turned to flee. However, in the next second, the restrictive energy enveloped him. I'll fight you to the death, he cried. He screamed as his gold core rapidly spun. Seeing this, Wang Lin flicked his hand. 3 strands of restrictive energy whistled out. As the restrictive energy entered the man's body, it forcibly extracted his gold core from his body. Then, Wang Lin swallowed the gold core in one gulp. The man instantly spat out a large mouthful of blood and collapsed to the ground. He's not at the Foundation establishment stage. He's definitely not at the Foundation establishment stage. Who are you? You're not worthy of knowing. Wang Lin shook his head. He had no intention of killing, but the other party insisted on courting death. Then, Wang Lin's figure flashed. When he reappeared, he was already inside cave number 743. Inside, a large man resembling a butcher sat cross-legged on the stone bed, looking at Wang Lin with wary eyes. "Whoa, Senior." Before he could finish speaking, Wang Lin lightly tapped him on the head. In the next second, the large man fell into a deep sleep. It turned out that the reason Wang Lin chose cave number 743 was because there was a spirit stone vein beneath it. So, Wang Lin used his flying sword to carve out a passage. At the end of the passage was an area shimmering with spirit stone light. Wang Lin's figure flashed. When he reappeared, he was already deep within the spirit stone vein. He was now at the bottom of the entire mountain peak. Not only were there countless spirit stone veins all around, but there was also extremely dense spiritual energy. However, this spiritual energy couldn't be directly absorbed by cultivators. After all, it contained too many impurities. But Wang Lin didn't mind because being inside it, he immediately felt a slight pressure enveloping his entire body. It was as if the weight of the entire mountain peak was pressing down on his shoulders. It turned out that under this pressure, Wang Lin's shattered primordial spirit was slowly starting to reassemble. Soon, blood began to flow from Wang Lin's 7 orifices. Almost there, Wang Lin gritted his teeth and took out 2 top-grade spirit stones from his storage bag. This act was like adding a ladle of water to a pot of boiling oil. The spiritual energy within the entire mountain instantly surged. The spiritual pressure on Wang Lin also increased dramatically. Under this immense pressure, the fragments of Wang Lin's primordial spirit gradually coalesced. At the same time, an endless stream of spiritual energy surged into Wang Lin's body, even breaking through the seal. Therefore, Wang Lin's cultivation was recovering at an astonishing rate. From the great circle of late-stage core formation to core formation, then to early-stage core formation, mid-stage, late-stage, all the way to early-stage nascent soul. And the spiritual energy of the mountain peak rapidly dimmed at a speed visible to the naked eye. The shimmering spirit stones turned to ash in the blink of an eye. In just a short time, all the newly grown trees on the mountain peak instantly withered. The entire mountain's spirit veins were reduced to waste within this short period. The Soul Enchantment Sect arc continues.